Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. In this video, we are going to see the detailed comparison review of two important bikes in Indian market now. The first one is Yamaha's MT-15 V2 dual channel ABS guys. Recently they given us some updates for user convenience, and the next one is Honda's Hornet 2.0, which may be the most valuable things in the comparison. So you may see the engine performance, braking test, suspension test, even seating comfort also guys. We added some of the ride experience review clippings also, so you must watch the 20 to 23 minutes of this precious time. If you are planning to buy one among these two bikes, this comparison review it may be helpful to you. So don't skip this video guys, watch fully. So let's get into the comparison. Give a like if this video is useful, and new viewers subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon for regular notifications. Yamaha's MT-15. It comes with the dual channel ABS with the traction control system, and even are now added with some of the other features. So this may be the first choice for every youngsters in the India current now guys. But this basically price variant of this bike is around 2,18,000 maybe. It may be the three variants in this MT version. One is standard and another one is deluxe, and next one is the Moto Gp edition. It's a naked street fighter bike from the Yamaha, which gives the ultimate performance in the 155cc segment with the good mileage. Some of the users have claimed 45 to 50 in the mileage of a single liter. But this bike consists some of the negative things which may be speaked in the later section of this video. As compared to Hornet 2.0, there are some positive and negative things in this MT-15, which is also notable if you are comparing these two bikes, if you are choosing to planning or will be the most valuable thing. Basically these two bikes is from the Japan manufacturers. The next one is the Honda's Hornet 2.0. It also be the naked street fighter, and even this bike is also suitable for some of the family members or even some of the middle-aged man. It may be very useful if you are planning to purchase under 1,75,000 of budget with a good mileage of 40 to 45 kilometer range. But comparing to MT-15, there are some negative points also in this Hornet 2.0 guys. There is no extra features comparing to MT-15. So it will be the most complicated thing if you are choosing this Hornet 2.0 for your daily commuting or even for a long term use. By speaking with the engine details, this Hornet 2.0 consists 184cc air-cooled engine guys. This basically is one of the most underrated engine I think in the Indian market with 180cc. But this produces some of 17 brake horsepower with 15.9 Newton meter of torque guys. This will be the good thing if you are choosing day-to-day life and daily commuting bike with the some of air cooling technology only. So if you are planning to buy an bike with a long term use or even long distance use over 200 to 300 kilometer in a single stretch, this may be the question mark. It will not perform as like MT-15, but this bike consists assist slipper clutch and even with the 5-speed manual gearbox with a good torque of 16 Newton meter of torque compared to MT-15 guys. They given a somewhat center stand or even a good the silencer assembly is also good. You may service even with the unauthorized outer side of the service network, but we wouldn't recommend. But comparing to MT-15, this MT produces somewhat 18 brake horsepower, but the torque of this MT-15 is only 14.1 Newton meter. But this engine is 155cc with a good mileage return of 45 to 50 kilometer per liter guys. This is one of liquid cooling technology Yamaha has provided. So for heat management and all for the long ride users, users may prefer this bike with the good mileage and even with the good heat management also. This bike consists VVA technology. If you are preferring for this bike for a top end performance or even a middle range performance, even with the initial pickup, this is a most suitable bike guys. but there will be given a 6-speed manual gearbox with a good assist slipper clutch also inbuilt. They given also, guys. This bike is I mean this engine is mounted with the delta box frame, which may be better from the Hornet 2.0, but Hornet 2.0 is mounted only with the diamond chassis. The negative thing about, I mean, not a negative, but the comparative thing, this MT-15 engine consists somewhat more maintenance and even more maintenance cost compared to Hornet 2.0. The exhaust system, basically, I like the Hornet 2.0, somewhat comfortable only. But as MT-15 consists somewhat normal set of silencer exhaust, but the performance is somewhat good. As comparing these two bikes in a test drive portion, these two bikes has a same set of initial pickup with the 0 660 and 0 200. It may be MT-15 is little slower compared to Hornet 2.0 from the 60 to 100 kilometer speed range. But after, if you are speaking with the top end performance, the MT will be the clear winner. But because this Yamaha MT has a VV8 technology, after crashing 7400 RPM, the top end performance is somewhat better from MT-15 compared to Hornet 2.0. But the basic thing is, if you are a family man, you are choosing MT-15, some negative things in the MT-15. So individually we talk about the ride review experience of MT-15, guys. The exhaust system and the riding position is somewhat okay. The riding position is little bit lower compared to Hornet 2.0. The initial pickup is somewhat good, and the mid-range performance of this engine is also good, guys. After crossing, we already told 7400 rpm, the VVA will be activated for the top end performance. You may attain 130 to 135 km of top speed in this engine, guys. So the ground clearance, they constructed with the 170 mm of ground clearance. Now we are riding with the pillion, so there will be no obstruction in the underbelly. So they given a 6-speed set of manual gearbox. If you are cruising in the city or traffic conditions, they given a assist slipper clutch. The clutch operations from the Japan constructions, it may be good. From the Hornet 2.0 or even MT-15, the clutch operations we feel is very smooth, guys. The VVA technology is awesome after crossing 7500 RPM, guys. We already explained that for the heat management, MT has a liquid cooling technology, but there will be a chaos if you are tend to maintain this MT-15 compared to Hornet 2.0. Maintenance cost is little bit higher, but for the beginner riders, they given a traction control system with the heat management, nice heat management. So if you are if you are a youngster planning to buy an good mileage and good return of performance engine, this may be the MT may be the perfect choice with the traction control and with the dual channel ABS also, guys. The braking system and the traction control helps for the new users, I mean new rider. If you are the rider planning to buy a new bike and even is the first ride, the MT is the good choice, guys. And but for the seating comfort, the rider comfort is a little bit lower, and we already told the handlebar position is little bit lower. They given a curvy set of seat, which may be not preferable for the long ride. If you are tends to ride this bike in a 200 to 300 in a single stretch, the heat management and performance of the engine is okay, but the sitting position for the rider, even for the rider, is somewhat average only, guys. The seat cushioning is also awesome, but for the question is, where is the seat cushioning and seat room for pillion? If you are planning to carry your pillion, keep the distance around 10 to 50 kilometer for the pillion carrying, guys. So it may be the some discomfort if you are carrying your pillion, because every time you are applying your front or rear brake, it may be the pillion may tends to put on the all their weights to your body, guys. But for long term use, they given aluminum set of swing arms, so it may be useful for the long term rider use. They given only 14.1 newton meter of torque. It may be good for the beginner riders with the traction control and even with the dual channel ABS, guys. In a clear word, this MT1582 is only suitable for youngsters who are planning for a long-term use of this bike. As comparing to Hornet 2.0, Honda is considering constructed this bike for youngsters. Even they concentrated for family men also, guys. Yes, this bike is suitable for both youngsters and even middle-aged men or even with the family members, so it may be the good. This bike is 141 kg of weight, curb weight, with the upright of handlebar position compared to MT15. MT15 has a little bit lower handlebar position, guys, but the handling and the most concentrated thing is somewhat okay with comparing to these two bikes. These two bikes gives a good riding confidence, and with the stability they constructed with the 140 section of rear tire, guys, broader tires. In this Hornet 2.0 ride review, the initial pickup is very good, and the mid-range performance is also good, guys. But in the vibrations limit, after crossing 90 km of speed range, this Hornet 2.0 gives the somewhat mild vibrations compared to MT15. MT15 has some over 100 and 110 we crossed, we can feel the somewhat vibrations. So this basically this Hornet 2.0 has a 5-speed set of manual gearbox, comparing to MT15 has a 6-speed set of manual gearbox. So this may be the difference of speed range with the vibrations where it starts. But in this top speed range, this MT15 has 135 speed range of top speed, but this Hornet 2.0 has 180 cc, but it's also have some same set of top speed 125 to 130 kilometer of top speed, guys, because the top end performance of this Hornet 2.0 is somewhat laggy, but the handling position and even the turning radius of these two bikes has a similar comparison, but this Hornet 2.0 has a little bit higher and upper handlebar position, guys. If a beginner rider is taking this Hornet 2.0, he may feel some wheel locking problem or some skiddiness in the muddy areas or even with the rainy seasons, because the rear wheelbase is somewhat okay and the wheel size is 140 section, but there will be no traction control. Only trackability of this Hornet 2.0 is somewhat okay. Now we are seeing at the somewhat of unconditional road, so the beginner may feel some of wheel locking problem when he or she applies a sudden brake of rear brake. So there will be some lagginess in the Hornet 2.0 compared to MT15, guys, and there will be no heat management system. Only they given an air cooled technology in this Hornet 2.0. And we talk about the kicker. There will be no kicker in the two bikes, guys. There are a lot of features missed from Hornet 2.0 compared to MT15. But talking about the maintenance cost, a family man is planning to buy a good CC, good initial performance of bike. The perfect choice is Hornet 2.0, because after purchasing this or costing 30,000 kilometers of kilometer riding range, the service cost is a little bit higher and compared to MT15, guys. This Hornet 2.0 consists little bit lower service cost. By speaking with the seat assembly as compared to MT15, Hornet 2.0 has somewhat little bit good seat capability of rider and pillion, guys. But for the rider point of view, the seat cushion is and seat position is somewhat good in the Hornet 2.0. But for a long term use, the MT15 lacks some of the sitting comfortability, guys. But for a short ride, the rider may feel good sitting comfort in the MT15. But in the Hornet 2.0, you may prefer for a long ride, but you are applying the sudden brake, the rider may tends to move somewhat forward position in the Hornet 2.0, because there will be a slopey seat assembly, and there are missing feature in the tank. There are no tie pad or tank pad in the Hornet 2.0, guys. But this is not a major issue if you are a family user with the short range of ride 50 to 100 kilometer in a single day. And the family user may also carry your pillion over 100 to 150 kilometer in a single stretch. There will be a good room in the Hornet 2.0, but in the MT there will be some lagginess in the rear seat assembly. Even with this version 2.0, another update, they may tends to change this MT's rear seat, but the problem is from the design, and there will be a question mark where the Indian youngsters may like or not, because Yamaha is already lagging with the after sales of FZ version 4. The design is somewhat not outdated only. You are seeing at the pillion sitting position. It will be good for a short ride, but for a long ride, we may carry this some type of carrier or seat rest in the MT15 guys. The key provision is similar in the two bikes. They given key provision in the with the tank assembly interpreted. So the tank assembly of this Hornet 2.0 has a 12-liter fuel tank capacity compared to MT15. MT15 has only 10-liter of fuel tank capacity, but it retains the good mileage of 50 km. Some users may claimed the tank is somewhat compact in MT15, but as compared to Hornet 2.0, it will be the little bit somewhat bigger size in the tanker section. From the braking system, the clear winner is MT15. It consists of dual channel ABS with the front broader section of 282 disc brakes with the biber calipers. So it may be the good choice for the beginner riders who may tends to ride with the first time of this MT. In the rear, they given dual channel ABS, we already told, but the disc size of the rear MT is somewhat 220 only. It will be okay with the aluminum swing arms or even with the traction controls. The ABS action is also okay guys, but for a long trip this may have some heating issue or lagginess in the braking system. The rear disc size, the heat management is somewhat okay. They given aluminum swing arm and even with the broader rear tire with the traction control system, we already told in the ride review, which may be perfectly suitable for the beginner rider or even a youngster who may tends to ride this bike over 100 to 120 km speed range. But in the braking system of Hornet 2.0 has only single channel ABS with the somewhat 280 pedal disc brakes in the front, but in the rear they given a 230 of disc brakes even with the pedal disc brakes, but there will be a no TCS, I mean traction control system, or there will be a no RLP sensor. They feel some of the users may feel in the rear wheel locking problem in the higher speeds when you are applying your rear brakes suddenly guys. So this will be negative thing if you are planning this bike for a long term use. So you may have a test drive for this bike guys, so this may feel some of the wheel locking problem. But if you are considering a budget and even you are a experienced rider, you may go for the Hornet 2.0 with the single channel ABS. But they given a box steel type of Singham only. But the torque is somewhat, we already told, 16 Newton meter of torque compared to MT15. MT15 just has 14.1 Newton meter guys. So it may be preferring the hill station or some of the ride. The Hornet 2.0 is somewhat okay guys. Next, the suspension setup. They given both bikes have consist USD forks with the good travel of this front USD forks guys. There will be some cornering stability and some of the riding ability in these two bikes, but these two bikes similarly consist some little bit impacts when you are riding with the unconditional or bumpy roads guys. So it may be the tolerable thing only, but if you are planning to ride with the rural areas every day, you may feel some discomforts. The rear set is only average only guys, rear set of suspension. Even though there will be a 7-step adjustable, the rear suspension is somewhat stiffer guys. In the meter assembly, Hornet 2.0 consists of fully digital meter with the basic readouts only. They given average fuel economy or even the neutral indicator or even tachometer, speedometer, and also guys. Only thing you can adjust your brightness from this Hornet 2.0. It may be okay for a family rider, but if you are a youngster or even if you are planning to for a long touring bike, the MT15 meter consists all the current and trendy features guys. In the deluxe version of MT and top end variant of MT consists of Bluetooth connectivity, and you may attach your USB ports as accessories. But in the standard variant, there will be a lagness in Bluetooth connectivity. But in main thing in this meter assembly is you can turn on your TCS control, I mean traction control system, on or off. But we prefer for the beginner rider to turn on your TCS control for a good and quality ride, guys. The MT15 meter assembly readouts are somewhat visible compared to Hornet 2.0. The gear position indicator and even with the RPM indicator are somewhat bigger in size compared to only Hornet 2.0, guys. But you can also adjust your brightness, or even you may adjust your RPM shifter in lighter indicator from where to where it may be stop or start, guys. So these are the hidden features in the MT15 with a good visibility in the daytime and even with the nighttime, guys. And speaking with the lighting setup, this Hornet 2.0 has a average set of front LED setup with the somewhat high beam and even low beam consists little bit lower in power compared to all other brand bikes in this segment, guys. You are looking at the sample clippings. The wall distance and the bike distance is somewhat 7 to 10 feet. This high beam power output of Hornet 2.0 is somewhat average only, guys. But in the rear section they given a X-shaped LED with the signature from the Hornet 2.0 where it begins. But comparing to MT15, the clear winner is with the good I-shaped LED DRL with the projected headlamps. So this MT15 is somewhat better compared to Hornet 2.0, guys. In the rear section, yeah, they also given a tail light section. From the April 2024 only, the Yamaha has given hazard switches and all in the MT version, but Hornet 2.0 has consist every Hornet 2.0 from older Hornet also has. But the clear winner of this lighting portion is MT15, guys. We already told. In the standard version, they given a halogen set of winkers, but in the higher variants or even in the deluxe version, they given a LED set of indicators, guys. It may be preferable for the youngsters. In the tail section, we already told they given LED DRLs, but if some users are mounting this type of I think carrier assembly. It may be somewhat okay. It's a personal choice only, guys. Guys, now we are in the conclusion section. If you are a youngster and you are looking for a good mileage and even with the performance engine with good some value added features of traction control system or even with the dual channel ABS, there will be no question for a budget. The MT will be the perfect choice for you guys. But if you are a family man or middle aged man looking for a bike under the budget with a good service cost or even with the good build quality with the upper riding position, the Hornet 2.0 is the best choice for you guys. But the main thing of these two bikes is only for the service cost and maintainability. The Hornet 2.0 is a clear winner. But in the feature assembly or even the safety measures and the ride quality, the MT15 is the clear winner, guys. So these are all the points we just tend to clarify in this detailed comparison review of MT15 and the Hornet 2.0, guys. The video is maybe useful for you for spending 22 to 23 minutes of your precious time, and thanks for watching till the end of this video. If it is useful, share to your friends also, guys.